Hello, everybody. How are you? Hope you're doing well. We are here with another very exciting company, an entrepreneur who is actually flew all the way from United States, basically, to not just raise capital for this company, but also looking for partnerships and collaborations. Let's know more about this company and see what has been the experience of this gentleman and his company here. Hello.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for having me.
Good evening. So please tell us about yourself and what is this company about and your journey up till now.
Sure, absolutely. Would love to share. So, my name is Arad Malhotra. I'm primarily based in Miami. I've been in the United States for the last 15 years. I've been a serial entrepreneur. My previous company called Skyless Game Studios produces video games for the government to help them fight corruption, to therapeutics for kids with autism, and basically using games for different kinds of social purposes. As a part of the journey, I was very fortunate to be exposed to the startup world again very early, and was able to make at that time the global Forbes 30 and the 30 list, which now has turned into the North America list.
Wow.
And yeah, over the last 2 years, I've been involved with the ecosystem a lot. And finally, I decided over the last year and a half to work in a company that is very close to my heart and is trying to create a disruption in humanity. Company is called Report to Earn. Yeah.
Disruptions in humanity. Explore more about this terminology.
Absolutely. So the concept of report to earn, as simple as it sounds, is that today a lot of us human beings have unseen a lot of issues that we see day to day. So whether it is the small issues that are irritants like potholes or traffic patterns, especially in some of the developing nations, or it is more serious things like crimes happening around us, or protests, or just anything, including bad weather, etc. Things that we either unsee or sometimes we just take out our phone, put it on put it on social media just for likes. But we don't really get much value out of that. And again, there's so much happening around us. The goal is to create a platform that allows us to be awoken to that, and then create an entire system that allows government, law enforcement, and other people to be able to act on it appropriately. So the way it works, the tagline being "see something, earn something," is that you can take out your phone when you see something, you just report it on our platform. Other people around you who have the application have to go ahead and validate this data in order to basically make sure it is true. So you cannot go with five of your friends, but we have an algorithmic system based on the blockchain, as well as layers of artificial intelligence to ensure that we are crowdsourcing and making sure from unrelated people this incident or this news or whatever we see is true. And once that validation cycle is completed, this is the fun part. The reporters as well as the validators earn reward points. These reward points can be redeemed for deals, discounts, loyalty points, which helps drive business localized to essentially where those people live or report. So it's a win-win situation. Or you can choose to convert that into phase two of what you're building, which is the cryptocurrency. The cryptocurrency allows you to be a part of a supercharged ecosystem that takes the same concept of reporting and validating, but turns the entire thing into a video game. So think about the huge success of Pokemon Go, but now people can start forming teams at the local municipality levels or city by city and almost work together to not just grow their characters and get points, but also to make their particular neighborhoods better. So turn this entire thing into a global competitive competition.
So with this civic engagement tool that you are building upon, I mean, in my head already there are a lot of different computations and different platforms that are coming around it. Firstly, share how are you basically hedging with that, and along the way, how much this platform has got traffic, and sure, tell us about the journey. Is it still launched yet, or is it going to be launched? It's in beta phase.
Sure, absolutely. So being an entrepreneur for many years, I kind of took a different approach on this business. I spent a lot of time going through the design thinking process and thinking about all the stakeholders in this process, from what's in it for the government side, the law enforcement side, how it makes life better for them, and most importantly for the consumers, essentially, from the majority of the world that is poor but still has a smartphone, and giving them a way to almost create a gig economy for them without necessarily having the ability to drive an Uber, as an example, all the way to essentially just the gamers who might be doing it for different motivation, but it gives you the same net result of improvement. So to answer you more directly, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. There's a lot of reporting apps, including Dubai Police's, their own fantastic app, and a lot of, again, local community apps that exist. What we're trying to do is we're seeing on what has worked and what are some of the challenges, and then combining a few different areas to make this successful. So, for example, this is the first of its kind platform of this nature that is being developed on the blockchain, which means there's a transparency of all the information that is required. Secondly, the personally identifying information is anonymized, and that is a big incentive because people who are already motivated to report would already do that. But now people, when they can anonymously help collect that data, but the data is valuable because it is verified by multiple different people, especially for things which are non-serious, it really makes it easier for, again, the enforcement bodies or the governments to be able to act on it more efficiently without needing to go track down somebody or listen to a hearsay or a biased perspective. So what we're trying to do is create a proof of truth. And then the final point is the motivational factor, right? Why should I do this as a consumer? One is because I'm getting actually, instead of just likes on a different platform, I'm actually getting rewarded in something that is concrete. And second, of course, is the gamification angle, because that's what my expertise has been for the last few years. And, it's a very, very powerful medium. When you turn this into something which is fun, then it doesn't seem like a hobby or just evangelism. And that combination is uniquely what we're doing, in addition to obviously having a very, very strong board of people who represent all these different areas in our space. Our board of advisors has a lot of experienced people from the government side to the PR side to the direct-to-consumer side. I think that is a key differentiator.
So is it launched already?
So we are actually very, very close to launch. We are technically, you can find us on the markets in closed beta. We're doing some final tests and trying to build out one major feature that is left to roll out. For that, we are currently in a pre-seed round. We're raising $1.5 million on a safe note. I've already raised a small amount, about 105,000, and have a few more commitments coming in. So we're at this point trying to look for a few strategic partners, again, representing those areas that I mentioned on my board in terms of investors, to be able to, one, get to launch, which I think we can do that in a timeline very realistically between a month to 2 months. Starting with obviously rolled out markets, because you want to see different types of data. Mm-hmm. And yes, and then the second part of the project, which is going to be the augmented reality Pokemon Go style game. That's going to take about 1.5 to 2 years, for which we would be raising, again, more in terms of, more likely a token raise in the crypto side of things towards the end of this year.
Right. And the partnerships, what kind of partnerships you're looking at? Supposedly some entrepreneurs and some similar kind of companies find, interesting synergies with you. What is it that you're looking into in the type of partnership?
Absolutely, and thank you for asking that. So I think we've clearly categorized broadly categorized 4 different types of partners that we're looking for, which is one of the reasons we're here exploring in the UAE. One is, again, government and law enforcement, and they're categorized as data subscribers. So if they want to filter and see what are the different types of potholes or what are the different types of events or what is going on, we're going to create a customized platform on the back end for them. They can see, again, real-time evidence data on whatever they're looking for. It's environmental, which is very important, given what's going on in the world today, to, again, pollution, to even emergency services. So we know what happened with the flooding in the UAE the other day. Yes, the news announced it, but we didn't know from neighborhood to neighborhood what was happening with verified data. So that could be a use case as an example for them. The second is media partnerships. Media in 2 sense. One, again, the people who want to be our voice, because this only works when we reach the maximum amount of people and really share the fact that they're getting the good out of it. The other angle on the media side is is actually, again, also the subscriber, because when media companies are looking for local reporting much faster than even their own reporters can go through, they can again subscribe to a database to get high quality information. In addition to that, one major type of partnership we're looking for is reward partners. So they are the actual businesses where we can drive customer acquisition, which means our customers win by getting deals and discounts. They get more customers essentially. And that's how we generate some revenues as well, only through the growth that we drive for them. So whether it is somebody large like MR, or it is maybe a smaller chain of local restaurants in, let's say, the city of Sharjah, we're looking for those partnerships as well, where it's a win-win situation. And last but not the least, we're also looking for ambassadors, so people who, again, believe in the social impact vision, again, whether that's from the government side or outside, people who can help, again, get the message across. And finally, as a part of this, we're also looking at nonprofits, etc., because, again, it's not just about crimes or about the infrastructure stuff, but also things like, again, the environmental reporting. It could be things including cyberbullying or women's safety. And of course, the solution is not localized to the UAE. It is global, and like I said, the biggest impact is probably in African nations, some Asian, a lot of the Asian market, emerging markets. But not to say a place like the UAE, which actually has such a high standard of safety and security, can look at it for getting more efficient in other things like government services, or again infrastructure things, which can really help them on in a completely different way than it would necessarily help a country like India, as an example.
Well, here you guys, it's a very interesting concept, perhaps in a way like peer-to-peer city development and community development on a very different angle, where consumers do not just only have the option to provide their interesting, valuable inputs, but they can also earn from it as well. Hope you like this segment. More of this, you can always find the links along with it, and connect with Arad here. And if there is any possibility for connect or to collaborate, hope that works out as well. Thank you for the time, and see you for the next interesting company and entrepreneur trying to change the world.
Thank you so much for having me here. Take care.